Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to build a simple app that allows you to search from a list of emoji using a search bar and also tap to navigate and see details about the emoji. With iOS 15, Apple introduced a new modifier for SwiftUI, which is called searchable. Applying this modifier to a view will mark the view as searchable and will configure the display of a search bar. So let's go to Xcode and start building our app. Since searchable is available starting with iOS 15, make sure that you're using Xcode 13 or higher. So let's create a new Xcode project. And I'm going to select app. We can name our project emoji search. And we should make sure that SwiftUI is selected for the interface and Swift is selected for the language. So let's press next. And we can create our Xcode project. Great, so now that we have our project, the first thing I'm going to do is add a new file that I will call emoji provider. So I'm going to right click here on the emoji search folder and create a new file. This will be a Swift file and it will be called emoji provider. So let's create that. And here we're going to define a simple model to represent each of the emoji that will be displayed in the list of our app. So I'm going to call this emoji details, and this will be a struct that conforms to identifiable. So let's add here struct emoji details, which is identifiable. And the first thing we will have here is an ID. So let ID be equal to UUID. Then I'm going to add a property called emoji. Let emoji, which is of type string. Then the next one will be name, which is also a string. And finally, I'm going to add a property called description, which again is a string. Perfect. And now we're going to create a provider that will give us a list containing several emoji details. And I'm going to copy and paste it from a gist that I have on GitHub. And I'll also leave a link below so you can copy the code as well. So I'm going to go to GitHub and I'm going to copy this emoji provider structure, which I created earlier. And this just has a ton of emoji details already defined with emoji, name, and description. So I'm going to copy that and paste it above the emoji details struct. Okay, perfect. So we have that ready. So what we'll do now is we're going to go back to our content view and we're going to start implementing the UI of our app. So first, let's go here to the content view struct and I'm going to modify the body. So instead of this text, first I'm going to add a navigation view. And inside this navigation view, I'm going to add a list. And in the list, I'm going to show each of the emoji details that emoji provider will give us. So before continuing to add our navigation view, let's actually first add a property here inside our content view. I'm going to call this search results. And this will be a list of emoji details. This will be a computed property, but for now, this will always return all the emoji details that our emoji provider gives us. So we're going to type emoji provider.all. Later on, we're going to modify the search results so that it only gives us the emoji based on whatever the user types on the search bar. So now let's continue with our navigation view. So what we're going to do first is we're going to add a list that will present these search results. And for each of the emoji details, let's see, emoji details, we're going to show a text. So let's add here text. and first it will show the emoji. So let's do emoji details dot emoji, and then it will show the name. So emoji details dot name, and let's modify our text to have a padding of 6. Great. So now below our list, we're going to also update the title in our navigation views. So what we can do here is use dot navigation title, and for the title, I'm going to use emoji search, and let's see, I can add an emoji there. Let's see. I'm going to find an emoji. I want to use this one right here. Great. So now that we have our initial UI, let's go ahead and run our app and see how it looks. So I'm going to use the iPhone 13 Pro. Let's run it. Great. So as you can see, we have our navigation view with the title emoji search, and we also have a list showing all the emoji. Or the emoji details. We can see the emoji and the name. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Xcode and modify our UI so that whenever you tap on one of these emoji, you'll be able to see more details about it. So let's go back to Xcode. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new struct called emoji details view, which will show the emoji details. So let's add here struct emoji details view, which is of type view. And whenever we initialize one of these, we'll need an emoji details. So emoji details, which is of type emoji details. Now we're going to define the body of our view. So let's add here var body, and the body will be some view. Okay, and inside this body, we're going to add first a horizontal stack or H stack. And inside this horizontal stack, we're going to add first a vertical stack or V stack. And then the V stack will have an alignment, which is leading. And inside the V stack, we're going to have first text, which will be very similar to this one. So it will show the emoji and then the name. But we're going to modify the font to be large title. And we're also going to make the text bold. Then we're going to add another text. And this will have the description of the emoji. So emoji details, the description. And after that, we're going to add a spacer. Then after our vertical stack, we are going to add another spacer. And finally, we're going to add some padding to our horizontal stack. So on the H stack, we'll apply padding, and we'll only do this for the leading and trailing sides. And this will have a value of 24. Great. So now that we have our emoji details view, we can go back to our content view, and we're going to modify our list. So instead of just showing the text, what we're going to do is we're going to use a navigation link. So let's copy this text here, and let's add here navigation link. And the navigation link needs a destination. So let's add here the destination, which will be a emoji details view. So we can add here emoji details view. We need to pass the emoji details that it will display. And inside each navigation link, then we'll have the text that we were showing earlier. Okay, so let's see, if we run our app again, we should be able to tap on any emoji and see some details about it. So let's do that. Great, so as you can see, we have our list, and now each emoji in the list has this small chevron or arrow. And if you press the emoji, you'll see that you'll be taken to see more details about that emoji. Perfect. So now that we have our list set up, let's actually go back to Xcode and add the search bar so that we can search from within this list of emoji. So let's stop our app, and in Xcode, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a state variable called search text, which will represent the text that the user has typed into the search bar. So let's add at state private var search text, and this is a string, and initially this will just be an empty string. Now, to display the search bar, we're going to use the searchable modifier. So below navigation title, we're going to add searchable. We'll do that here. Searchable. And the text that will be bound to our search bar is the search text variable that we just defined. So we can do $, search text. Now we're also going to update the placement of our search bar, and we can do that by providing the placement parameter. So let's add here placement, and here we're going to use dot navigation bar drawer with a display mode of always. That means our search bar will always be displayed. And finally, we're going to add a prompt. And this prompt is just whatever you'll see on the search bar when the user hasn't typed anything yet. So here we can type something like search for emoji. Perfect. So now that we're binding the search text to the text that is typed in the search bar, we can update the value of the search results variable so that it will only return results that are related to whatever text the user has typed in the search bar. So we're going to update this variable. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to check whether the search text is empty. So let's add a constant here. Let results be equal to emoji provider.all, and if the search text is empty, which means that the user hasn't typed anything, then we will just return all of these results. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to filter this list, and we're going to check whether the name of the emoji, or whether the search text is contained in the name of the emoji or in the actual emoji. So what we're going to do here is type results or return results dot filter, and let's see, we're going to add here two checks. So we're going to include only emoji details that satisfy one of these two conditions or both. So either the lowercase name, so $0 or $0 dot name dot lowercase. That way we can ignore whether the text is uppercase or lowercase. And we will check whether the emoji's name contains the search text. So we'll do search text dot lowercase, or we'll also include the emoji details if the emoji is part of the search text. So if emoji dot contains search text. So let's go ahead and run our app again, and now we should be able to see a search bar, and whenever you type anything on the search bar, the results should be filtered based on what you've typed. So let's see, we have our list, and we have our emoji details. You can still tap on them and see more information, but now we have our search bar here at the top. And let's say we start typing here something. So I'll type face, and we see that our results contain emojis whose name includes the string face. And again, we can still tap on any of them and see more details about them. The final thing we're going to do is to provide a list of suggestions as the user is typing in the search bar. And we can do this by providing a closure to the searchable modifier that will return a view containing the suggestions. So we're going to go ahead and add a new variable called suggested results. So let's stop our app, and below search results, we're going to add a new variable called suggested results. So let's add here private var suggested results, which is a list of emoji details. And what we're going to do here is that if the search text is empty, we will just return an empty list. So if search text dot is empty, we'll return an empty list. And what this means is that when the user hasn't typed anything on the search bar, we're just going to show the original list that we're showing in our navigation view, as we don't have any suggestions to give to the user. Otherwise, we're going to return the search results. Okay, and now we can go back. We can go down here to our searchable modifier, and we're going to add the closure to provide the search results. So what we're going to do here is that for each of the suggested results, which is of type emoji details, so let's call this variable emoji details. So for each of the emoji details in the suggested results list, we're going to add a text that says, let's add here, looking for, let's see, emoji details dot emoji question mark. And we're going to use the search completion. And what this will do is that if the user types this suggestion, whatever string we provide in the search completion will be used to type or put it into the search bar. So this will complete the user's search query. So we can add here emoji details dot name. And so the emoji's name will be automatically placed in the search bar when the user presses a suggestion. So let's run our app one more time, and we should be able to see our final result. So let's do that. Great. So to recap, we still have our list and our search bars at the top. We can still tap on each of the emoji. Now, if we press the search bar, the user hasn't typed anything, so we don't see any suggested results. But as we start typing, let's say we just type a random letter, I'll type a P, it will give me different options or different suggestions of emoji that I may be looking for. And so let's say I was looking for the puzzle piece. As you can see, when I typed it, the search bar changed to the emoji's name, as that's what I provided for the search completion. And I can still tap on that and see more details about the emoji. If I clear the search bar, you can see that I'll be able to see the whole list. And again, I can type any letters, and let's see, it will give me suggestions, complete the search for me, and I can see more details about the emoji. Perfect. So that's all I wanted to show you in this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new today. If you want to learn more about iOS development with Swift and SwiftUI, make sure to subscribe to my channel as I'll be posting new videos very soon.